reach mass adoption. So there is two different level you want to work. It's like at the government level, because you want like the
Yeah.
decision maker to be aware of what it is and to allow it. And at the same time, and it links directly to what you just said, you also need people on the ground who are going to actually implement applications and stuff that people need. Because as you say, sometimes there is like something,
Yeah.
there is nothing in between. So if I well understand, so far you worked more at a government level, I mean at a higher level. um, can you tell us why did you choose this
Sure.
approach first?
Yeah. So, currently there's not a lot of public documentation about how Plutus is going to work, right? Or how you can use a Tala identity. It's because these things haven't been released to the public yet. So without that public, method of people learning how to use the platform, the sort of bottom-up approach was never a choice for me, right? So what I've been doing is looking under the hoods at IO, seeing what technology we're cooking up and going, okay, I can really see a use case for that for the government of Ethiopia in this ministry. And then going and interfacing between and making sure that the requirements which are coming from these big enterprise deals are actually being met in the product and the development teams. So this is something that, I can do as a member of IO and within my role. But it's not something that the public can do yet. So this is the reason why I've been doing enterprise deals of this scale. I'm only a single person, so I can't be handling 50, 100 deals concurrently. So I focused on maximizing the user numbers on these deals. As we shift now over the next 2 months, all of that will change, right? So all of the documentation becomes available. People can develop on the platform without talking to IO. So at this stage, then I need to start focusing on enabling that sort of grassroots approach. And this is the reason why the community plan is something that we're pushing now, right? We want to make sure that everyone that wants to develop on the platform has all the tools they need to be able to do this without talking to me, right? So that's where we're going. And it's the reason why I'm going to be shifting focus away from large scale enterprise deployments towards enabling the community over the next year.
Okay, that actually makes perfect sense. And yeah, you need like first to tap into the government level, actually, because there is not much information to share
Yeah,
with people on the
absolutely.
lower level, and yeah.
Yeah, and sorry, just to maybe reiterate something I said earlier, I really see that the stuff that I'm doing will win credibility for the technology in a lot of markets, which will make everyone else's lives easier. When someone's trying to maybe build a business using Cardano and pitch to, let's say, a Nigerian ministry, they'll be able to say, it's actually the same tech that IO used in Ethiopia for this ministry. So you get that credibility from the work that we're doing on the enterprise scale. And that credibility trickles down to even stuff done, from the sort of ground up, bottom up approach.
Yeah, and actually, like as you say, also like you have a strike force, which is better than like for instance, a little developer would like to do something in Nigeria right now. So like
Mm,
you have these examples and like it works, and we onboarded
exactly.
like millions of people, and from that,
Exactly.
people are gonna be able to develop their thing. Yeah, actually, it's like I think it's plus. So actually, you answered to the second part of the question, which was like how to implement it on the ground. Uh, but like to go a bit more in detail into that. So implementing on the ground. So you said earlier you're gonna like push for incubators, or you're gonna like what's your plan to help those people to develop?
So it all starts with education. So what I want to do is to, first of all, work with the incubators and the accelerators to do in-person trainings, to make sure that there is a physical space where you can go to learn more how to develop on the platform. The second part is to put all of this stuff up online. So, you want people to be able to learn how to do Plutus smart contracts also on web courses from their home if they're in a city or a part of the country that doesn't have access to these incubators and these accelerators. Pardon me. So yeah, for me, it's also about working with the education department in IO to make sure that all of this wonderful tech that we're building is easy for people to learn and easy for people to understand. So yeah, that's part of the work as well, is the education side.
Yeah, I think that's actually like super important because it's one of the thing I noticed in Africa is you have people who have skills, but sometimes they just don't have access to a place to just express it. And for instance, it's the thing we have in Nigeria where um, actually we have a lot of developers,
Mm,
but the internet is, let's say, crappy,
yeah.
so it's difficult for them. So it's like I think it's good to have, like as you said, these two things, like online resources for people who can have access,
Mm,
but also to be able to host people, to
yeah.
provide them with the knowledge, but also the ability to access to it, so like internet and good electricity things. And so yeah, I think it's sounds like a good idea to allow as much as possible people like to work on that.
I think just to add one thing on that, there's also a capital element as well, right? People need finance to be able to start businesses. And by localize, or at least by working within the existing network of technology accelerators and incubators, it makes it a lot easier to come up with a model by which people can get finance. So these accelerators and implementers, accelerators and incubators often have very good links already with pre-existing funding institutions and have access to capital, which is meant to be funneled towards startups. So by working within that ecosystem in a local fashion, we also leverage this very large pool of capital that already exists. So what we like to do is partner with people who are interested in providing capital and trainings towards startups and innovators within each of these countries, and participate in this ecosystem rather than trying to rebuild our own. So but that's also something we're keen on, as being part of the existing technology communities in each of these countries.
Yeah, and actually, what's also interesting in what you said is you also come with people who might be interested in investing, so it
Yeah.
might also attract more people to come and work developing and deploying their solutions on the Cardano ecosystem because they know that they might have access to funds. So I think it would also drive people to enter the ecosystem.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Cardano as a platform, we're definitely moving in this direction. I mean, you've seen some of the stuff with Catalyst. We're trying to build the tools which will enable people to be able to go and speak to the community and say, here's my proposition, right? Do you like it? If you like it, you can fund it. And some of the stuff which has made me really proud is seeing some of these amazing stake pools being created, which are focused on charitable endeavors. And I've loved it, right? Go delegate your ADA to this stake pool because you believe in their mission. So yeah, this is for me a really innovative tool and an innovative way for charities or charitably focused people to be able to gain access to funds. So yeah, we're obviously going to be trying to extend that to not just sort of these charitable causes, but find out ways in which people can put their projects up and say, look, this is the funding I need, these are the expected returns, and create a new marketplace for capital allocation.